What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chiefs Chat. Today we're doing the Chiefs versus Packers game recap, okay? Final preseason of the 2022-2023 season, okay? The things that I talked about in the game preview, definitely the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that I think we should have been running the ball a little bit more during the preseason. Well, thankfully, we got a little bit more of that in this game against the Packers. It definitely did seem that we, wanted to emphasize the running game, which was definitely something that obviously you guys know I was definitely looking for. So we saw some good things. We saw some good things from Isaiah Pacheco. We saw some good things from Clyde. And it's great to see those guys get out there and get some more reps. It's fantastic. And one guy who I definitely want to mention, kind of the guy who I was really targeting, really the guy who I wanted to see, if he's going to step up to the challenge, was Ronald Jones. And I'm so glad that he definitely was able to get a couple of good carries in, and he looks really strong. He looks like a guy who can just bulldoze over linebackers, and we saw that. We saw that in one of the first few plays of the game where he just, put the freaking smack on one of those freaking Packers linebackers. It was great to see. Ronald Jones is a guy who, I can now feel a little bit more confident about, thankfully, because prior to this game against the Packers, I just wasn't feeling too great about him. But now that Ronald Jones is here, I'm feeling pretty good about our running back room. And of course, Isaiah Pacheco looked pretty solid. He definitely got more reps, and of course, he was doing some great things, in those first couple of drives where I think, that kind of shows he is going to be, a guy who's going to be running with the first team. So it's good to see him in there, doing some great things. I'm just feeling pretty solid about our running back room. That was really the first thing that I wanted to see in this game against the Packers, and it's the first thing I wanted to address. And, I'm pretty satisfied. I feel satisfied. I feel a little bit more confident about what things are, the way things are looking here in the running back room. So that's something I can definitely, feel all right about going into the season. Now, in terms of our passing game, I do feel solid about that as well. Obviously, not really much to see here in this game except Shane Buechele had a fantastic game. He's a guy who I'm not sure if we're going to, use another roster spot to keep him on the roster, but I feel like he is definitely deserving of a backup role here, in the NFL. Maybe not with the Chiefs, but, I would not be upset if he was the backup for the Chiefs, instead of Chad Henne. Even though I love Chad Henne, he's done some great things for the Chiefs organization. I'm not forgetting about all that. I'm just saying Shane Buechele, he would definitely be a serviceable backup here for the Chiefs, or for just any NFL team. So shout out to him. He did a fantastic job during the preseason, and he did a fantastic job in this game against the Packers. 2 touchdowns, that's great to see. Fantastic stuff. So in terms of our quarterbacks, we're looking fantastic there. The receivers are looking pretty solid. We've got some standout guys like Justin Watson, who has definitely made a case for him to make the roster. So good to see him out there and balling. We saw some great things in the passing game. And finally we got to see a little bit more of our running backs here in this game against the Packers, which was exactly what I wanted to see. So that's just fantastic. And another thing is, man, our first team defense still looks absolutely phenomenal. So I just feel really good about that. Our first team defense, we shut them down. Just point blank, they're done. That's great to see. Patrick Mahomes obviously did not play, but our defense, our first team guys, they were out there and they were doing some fantastic things. Chris Jones always creating pressure. Okay, George Karlaftis has been outstanding in the preseason. Trent McDuffie showed us a couple of things, even though he did end up with a concussion. But he's okay. It's all right. Everything's fine. But you know what, man? Our defense, I just feel great about it. Okay, these guys are balling out. We're looking fantastic. I'm just super excited about this Chiefs football team because the first team just, in general, just looks absolutely phenomenal. Unstoppable, if you ask me. So, it's great to see. So with all that being said, I do feel great about this Chiefs football team heading into week 1 of the regular season. But with all that being said, I do want to discuss Len Dawson, who the Chiefs did take some time to honor, with the choir huddle. That was fantastic to see. Patrick Mahomes being the leader of this team, he went out there for the first play and he, did the choir huddle. It was just, it was a very nice moment here for the Chiefs. And I just know, everybody that, knows the Chiefs, everybody that is a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs can sit here and they can recognize the sacrifices that Len Dawson made for this football team. Not only as a player, but as a broadcaster, and just as an icon of the city and the organization itself. Len Dawson, this dude is absolutely legendary. R.I.P. to one of the greatest Chiefs quarterbacks, one of the greatest Chiefs players of all time, Len Dawson. Rest in peace. This guy, he was just fantastic. And he was a guy who, I personally looked up to as, you know, one of the legends of this football team. Obviously, I wasn't around when he was playing football, you know, but I remember the broadcasting days. I just remember him being there for the city. And you know, a lot of people, you know, just tend to forget that this is not where he grew up. He was not born in Kansas City, Missouri. He made this place his home. He honored this franchise, and he just, you know, he was a legend. He was an icon, and he will forever be known as a legend. So I just wanted to say that. I definitely wanted to acknowledge the fact that Len Dawson, I mean, this dude, he's right here. I mean, he is in all of our hearts. You know, our hearts go out to his family, you know, all that. And I just, you know, may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. Len Dawson, you know, one of the greatest Chiefs players of all time. Dude's a legend, okay? Dude is an absolute legend, okay? I just wanted to say that because honestly, you know, it's pretty hard not to, you know, think about Len Dawson right now, considering that he did just pass away, and it's just, you know, we really want to recognize what he did for this franchise. So, with that being said, I'm super excited about this Chiefs team. We're looking fantastic heading into the regular season, and this one's for Lenny, man. Let's get this dub for Lenny. Let's win this Super Bowl for Len Dawson, man. Let's do it. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next Chiefs chat. Peace out.